Guys, welcome back to the Independent Investor channel. My name is Ryan. It's so reassuring that I have this channel and I can have my voice and I can represent the same in what seems to be an insane landscape across the financial institution. It's just amazing that everything that is geared towards selling people propaganda, which is what it really comes down to when a bandwagon presents itself and it's like, okay, all aboard. Everybody get on board with the bandwagon. 2019 is going to hell in a handbasket, right? If I hadn't come out with the Independent Investor channel, I would have been doing the same exact thing 2 years ago that I'm doing right now. I would have been strengthening my financial posture now, then, and into the future. This video is really going to be about what if you had taken my advice 2 years ago. I'm going to offer 10 things to really provide kind of a voice of reason. And it's really amazing, and I'm extremely disappointed, and I'm so thankful that I have this channel that I can actually call out some of the things that I observed going on. There's a lot of actual channel creators that are jumping on the same bandwagon that I speak so negatively about, and it's really unfortunate. And I hope to God they end up, having all the success on YouTube that they're seeking out. I hope they gain their 100,000 subscribers. I really do, by jumping on every single bandwagon that there is out there. Because I can tell you one thing. An old onus that if you work really hard in life, you can get ahead. Guys, that's dead. It's dead, all right? You cannot tell me for a second that working hard is going to get you ahead in life anymore. No way. If you can deceive, if you can cut corners, if you can take the easy way out, if you can be persuasive, all right? You can be successful. Now with the internet, and if you can be a really good self-promoter, you can absolutely shoot for the stars and you can make it. You don't have to work hard, guys. And if anybody tells you, I know I give some insight and some idea of how difficult it is to run a YouTube channel, I've put out 230 videos on my channel, and there's been a lot of work that has went into that. Heart, sweat, a lot of time. I did that for the passion of the message. But I want to really focus in on what does it mean for you guys if you're out there in the community and you had taken my advice. Perhaps maybe some of you are sitting back and saying, I'm down a little bit in my position, Ryan, what do I do? I may not have believed it as much then as I do now, or maybe vice versa. Maybe you got involved and you're starting to question what it is you're doing, and you're doing it on your own. Maybe it is that, you start to second guess what it is you've done in the past. And I'm going to bring you back home, guys. I'm going to bring you back home. I'm so thankful for this channel because honestly, when I see groupthink going on and everybody's jumping onto the same bandwagon, 2009, the stock market's going to zero. Count how many videos on YouTube are out right now talking about the demise on the stock market. The stock market's going to go up in 2019. If you want to know, my prediction about it, evidently I'm the only one who thinks so. I'm down right now just like everybody else is in the stock market. What does it mean? It means absolutely nothing. It means nothing. I'm not going to generate content on what means absolutely nothing. What means something is to ask yourself these questions and bring it home and regain that long-term perspective, right? Instead of focusing in so much on the dollars and cents in any singular moment. Because if you focus on the stock market when it's down and you make your decisions, you're going to fail. Conversely, if you look at the stock market on an individual time basis and it's up and you make your decisions rash on that, you're going to fail as well, and you're going to be left confused in a landscape that's confusing, all right? So guys, let's kind of get into it a little bit. Man, if you had taken my advice a couple of years ago when I came out with the channel, I was really kind of talking about how the stock market had been on a bull market the whole time, or a very historic bull run for that time, talked about thinking about money from a holistic perspective. If you had 100% of your money, what are your options? And I came out with a 25%, 50%, 75%, 100% offering to get you guys to think about how to split up money. And if you kind of took my advice and heard me, I talked about how important it is to have some level of passive barometer in your portfolio, all right? Now we're gonna talk about the type of portfolio a little bit later, but if you guys are out there and you had the 401ks and you turned into the channel and you thought, okay, Ryan's talking about the importance of this diversified base. What type of options or doors does this open, having that base in place to go ahead and maybe supplement my base with a little bit more of an aggressive self-directed Roth IRA account or traditional account or something of that nature. But we always wanted to acknowledge the importance of having a passive base. Now for you guys that did not, it introduced the option of looking at the self-directed account as being a holistic account where you could look to build that passive base up to your first $10,000, right? So the question is, what if? What if you took my advice and actually entered into some passive assets and you're working toward that $10,000 first goal? Guys, you're still doing that. You're still doing that. The turmoil in the market over the last couple months has changed nothing with regard to your plan, nothing. As a matter of fact, and I've mentioned this many of times, the strategic approach to this is to take and start to deploy some cash into the stock market, because I've always talked about the importance of having that rainy day fund built up for times like this. Guys, you don't get very many down days in the stock market where it's down more than 500 points. All right, so we want to take advantage of those opportunities as they come. When you're a passive investor, all you have to do is buy and hold. That's it. Selling is not even an option for you. If you're looking to grow wealth in the stock market and you have $0 to $10,000 in the stock market, your goal has not changed one bit in that you're looking to grow that wealth to $10,000 as quickly as you can. Selling is not even in your vocabulary, right? So tuning into misinformed information and really misleading information to somehow panic yourself out of the stock market that something irrational is going to happen into the future, which is not possible. All right. Nobody knows what the stock market is going to do tomorrow, next week, or especially not next year. All right. Number two, the dividends, right? If we talked about the importance of having a pillar of dividends, good paying stocks, the stocks that I recommend that you can own forever, right? Really good quality companies, all right? And nothing's gone away with this volatility in the stock market. You're going to find that these dividends are paid to you no matter what, all right? And the quarters and the years are going to stack up. That I will guarantee you, all right? And if you do start these positions in these good quality stocks and they end up growing for you over time, it's going to be because you stuck to your plan. You were able to stay grounded during times of volatility, and you actually were able to, really enjoy the fruits of the decisions that you made in asking, what if? What if I had got involved with the Independent Investor Channel's philosophy and fundamental approach to the stock market? Well, volatility's going on, but Ryan talks about enjoying some dividends over here. Maybe I need to take a fresh perspective out of this volatility and kind of look through the fog a little bit and see some clarity. All right. The next thing, what if I had got involved? What if I was involved with a financial planner? What if I'm paying a nominal fee through my investment portfolio or my retirement portfolio? All right. We advocate for no fees, all right, or a significant, drastic reduction in those fees within our account. All right. So if you're asking yourself, what if I had gotten involved, or I did get involved? What if I had not got involved? What would it mean for me? Would I be still stuck in the same rut, the same old program of paying fees over time and subjecting my money to that, right? I could have just as easily not come out with this channel, guys, to share how important this message is. There's only 500,000 self-directed account holders out there, and most of them misuse and abuse it. Nobody uses it like me. Nobody. And that's why the YouTube landscape seemingly doesn't want to talk about this stuff. All they want to talk about is what the topic of the day is, right? Why? Because people will watch it, all right? People will watch it, all right? And the agenda is to gain as many subscribers, no matter what, at the expense of the integrity of the message, all right? No noise, all right? I'm not charismatic. I'm not entertaining. I'm not here to entertain you. If I had to sit down and be somebody that I am not, I would shut the channel off and it would cease to exist. All right? I do this for the sheer message, as crystal clear as I can put it. And at 230 videos and going on 10,000 subscribers, the topic is just scratching the surface. All right? This topic is infinite. All right? And it's seeming that some of the other messages that are come out are seemingly finite, right? In that they run into certain walls in their account. What account do you use? Well, that's not important. We need to focus on just the stock, and we need to talk about how we can position ourselves to incur an eventual downturn in the stock market in 2019. None of that makes any sense to me. None. It's confusing, it's misleading, and it has no place being taught to any investor out there, let alone new investors. All right? What if you had invested in the message and tuned into the message and related with the message? We speak about perspective all the time, all right? The fact of the matter is, I'm down 8% right now in my portfolio. 8%. That's just a fact. Does it mean anything to me? Did I still get up this morning and put my pants on and go to work? Yeah, I did. Did it change my outlook and philosophy about life, especially my investment strategy? Hell no. Hell no, right? And it's awesome to understand how different my perspective is than most people. And if you guys can do me a favor during the course of this video, leave your comment at the bottom and let me know, please, that I am not the only one who thinks like this. But certainly if you've tuned into the message for this long over the course of the channel, you've understood that your perspective and your mental makeup and approach to the stock market means so much more than trying to time over here and watch the right video and act upon that video and trying to catch the falling knife. It never works that way. Never works that way. It always works to have a grounded perspective when trying to win in the stock market, all right? Because this is why the stock market consumes a lot of people, because they're always trying to play this all over the place game. And it's a fool's game. It really is. You'll end up losing inevitably. Perspective. That's what we get, all right? No emotion, all right? I will probably be the most boring YouTube channel out there with over 10,000 subscribers, and I'm all about it. Why? Because this channel does not define me. It doesn't. It really defines a piece of what I do in my daily life. But this YouTube channel means everything to me through you, all right? If you can take a piece of this message and deploy it and succeed, I'm all about it. If you can take a piece of information that I put out there and use it and enrich your own personal life, I'm all about it, all right? But this channel, I don't need to get on here and be something that I'm not. I will not do that. I will never do that. I can't do that. I'm incapable of being something that I'm not. I can't do that, all right? And you're getting a little bit more polished approach than some of my earlier content on YouTube, no doubt about that. But I will never, ever succumb to selling out. And I see it all the time, man. I really do. And unfortunately, selling out typically comes at the expense of the viewer, you, all right? Only quality, right? I don't pick the next best thing. I'm not trying to game a stock out and try to pick a bottom in a stock. The majority of the time, a stock will actually go down, all right? And it's how you deal with taking those quality assets into a downturn, perhaps maybe funding them up, setting them up on a DCA, right? Dividend reinvestment, all those things that we talk about all the time. But only quality, man, that's all we talk about. I don't even hardly mention penny stock, because it has nothing to do with sound investing at all. I don't typically talk about stock picking unless it fits in a certain portfolio. That's quality, all right? High quality dividend payers, best of breed, etc. What is good for you, not what is good for me. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is I put out there as blanket information to be deployed uniformly. That doesn't mean anything. What matters is we strike up a discussion, and maybe a piece over here and maybe a piece over here fits in your portfolio. That is the quality of the message and the delivery, man. And it's always been from day one to empower individual investors looking to get involved in the stock market. And your portfolio should reflect you. It should reflect you, not me or not any other YouTuber out there. Okay, that's just the truth. All right. Cash on hand, right? During times of volatility, you always look at your cash on hand and you wonder, man, it sure would be nice. What if I had taken Ryan's advice here and put a little bit more cash aside? Like, I heard what he said and I put a little bit aside, but man, it sure would be nice to make a nice couple stock buys right now while prices are coming down. You know what I mean? Now, these lessons that are being doled out in the stock market right now, you really have to pay attention to those lessons, all right? Because as painful as they might be, those are the lessons that are going to stick, all right? And then you get a guy like me coming and delivering kind of a re-solidifying message, and those lessons that you learned, they have more meaning to you. They really do. They stick with you. And that's the evolution that we talk about when we are talking about empowering investors to get time in the market, all right? This is a practiced art and it takes time, all right? But if you're jerking around in, out, this and that, up, down, March, spring, fall, whatever, seasonality, I don't know what the heck to do, you're gonna fail, all right? So very, very important to always look and have that cash on hand, which is a little bit of a unique and singular niche on the Independent Investor channel, is that we always try to exploit the amount of cash that we're saving over here while our investment portfolio is working over here. Never want to overexpose to the stock market. What if? What if we had deployed the advice? All right. We take a long-term perspective. Again, it has everything to do with not making short-term, irrational decisions at the expense of your long-term program. I'm down 8%, all right? I can do one of two things. I can get pissed off and I can sell everything and it's done, all right? And I'm gonna feel good for about 1 day, all right? I'm gonna feel good for maybe 2 days. Maybe I'll feel good for a week. But I'll tell you what, when the market rubber bands and it springs back up again and Amazon's way above $1,900 again, or some of those stocks that I've just calmly taken into a downturn, maybe added some strategic positions to, right? I'm gonna feel twice as bad as I did because I would have succumbed that money to a loss by selling short, right? Never ever given to short-term emotional decisions when you are looking at the stock market. Evaluate where you are, all right? Evaluate whether or not you were overexposed to the stock market and learn to fight another day. Learn to fight another day, all right? Because there's gonna be many, many days, and there's gonna be many, many months and many, many years, all right? And there's gonna be many, many hiccups along the way. It's how you react over the course of that time that's going to define your success or failure in the stock market, all right? The last thing, and the only thing that we talk about here is the self-directed aspect, guys. And while all this volatility and noise is going on, all right, everybody's trying to sell you something. The news medias, they're going to sell you something. It doesn't do them any good to get online and talk about just buy and hold stock. That's all you got to do. And just, we're going to shut the station down now because we don't have anything else to say, right? That doesn't sell to people, all right? But the buy and hold long-term strategy, and I don't care if it's bonds, stock, growth stocks, dividend stocks, I don't care what it is. You can succeed with any mix of the program. That's why I told you, if you wanted to do 100% stock portfolio and you had the risk tolerance to do so, you could win with that philosophy if you deploy it correctly. If you deploy it correctly, why is that? It's because those assets are held self-directed, right? And you are in control of the driver's seat. And all this volatility that's going on around you, you're the one that is calmly sitting down, knowing for a fact that your money is self-directed, directly invested in the stock market without a middleman. Let me tell you one thing else, guys. You want to know who's not freaking out right now in the stock market? Money managers. Money managers. They don't care. Why would they care? They get paid three basis points off of your money, whether or not the stock market goes to 30,000 or 10,000. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this emotional message of mine. Thank God for the channel, honestly. Thank God that we have this message and we can put it out there to keep folks in my community, the folks that subscribe to this message for their own benefit, not mine, their own benefit. We can continually polish our approach, all right? We can ignore the noise, all right? We can stay focused on the long term. That's what we can do, all right? If you like the message coming through, guys, I would ask for your subscription to the channel, man. If you guys know anybody out there that's looking to dabble in the stock market, maybe they're looking to jump in with both feet, it's starting to become an interesting time. And the further the stock market goes down, the louder you're going to hear my bark about buying, not panicking out of the stock market. Guys, leave your comments at the bottom of this video. Leave your comments. Let me know what you're thinking out there. Give me some revalidation, please, to let me know that I am not the only one out there that seems to be a sane creature in what seems to be an insane world. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and good luck in your investment future.